Hey, welcome back. So yeah, I don't have much else to talk about, so I'll talk about the book, and maybe I'll just kind of go randomly through my book notes and kind of figure out which are the most interesting things, and then I'll kind of focus on those when I do my vlog about the book. So one thing I just saw was she brought up this idea, which I thought was cool. So I'll talk about like the good things. I already talked about the bad thing, I think, on Tuesday. Like how I felt bad about not feeling normal. Like all the examples in this book are about normal people. None of them are about me. Like it's hard to relate to those people. It's like I have social anxiety when I'm with my wife or something. I'm like, what? Yeah, none of the examples. I'll talk about. I was thinking about this one example about this girl. Because you think, oh, I could relate to this person because she moves to a new city and she doesn't have any friends. And then one thing that the Ellen Hendrickson says is she kind of makes a vague reference to her friends back home. Like, oh, her friends back home are telling her, like, you gotta give it a year and it takes time to make friends. And I'm like, friends back home? She has these past experiences with friends, so like she knows she can do it. It's just hard. But like I don't have that. What do I do if I don't have that? And if you don't have that, then like it's hard to make new friends because you don't have like stories about your old friends. Like, oh, my old friend used to jump off the pool trampoline or something. And then you'd like talk about that. But I don't. What am I gonna talk about? Am I gonna talk about Power Wash Simulator? I don't want to talk about that with people. It's weird. Like, I do a YouTube channel where I play Power Wash Simulator. You what? That's weird. Oop. But yeah, I was gonna talk about the good note. Social pruning. Wait, what is it called? Pruning? Oh no, pruning your social awareness. I like the metaphor or analogy or whatever that she used about pruning because it's a lot of the book is nice because she says, let me get closer to the mic. Ooh. Like a lot of if you have social anxiety, you have a lot of very positive, and she calls it pro-social traits. Like you like people and you like making them happy and you like helping them. You have a lot of empathy. Like these are studies that have been done that people with social anxiety have these like pro-social traits of like empathy and helping people and being nice. So a lot of the book, she does say that like constantly, like you gotta trust that like you're a good person and you probably want to help people, you don't want to hurt anybody, and so like that's all you need to be a person. You already have it, right? That's like kind of the whole point of the book. So, but when you have social anxiety, it's kind of like an overgrown version of these positive traits. So like social awareness is a good thing, to be aware of other people, and that's kind of what I felt when I first went to therapy. I'm like, you're trying to get rid of my social awareness to be like a normal weird person who like doesn't care about other people. And my first therapist was never able to explain it in a way that made me feel good. But if he used this metaphor, it probably would have helped. This idea of social pruning, like you gotta prune your social awareness. Because if you just let it grow everywhere, it kind of gets like bad and it even chokes like the fruit. That's why you have to prune things, because it'll choke the plant and the fruits. I don't know anything about farming or whatever, but apparently you have to do that. So like you have to prune your social awareness. You can't let it paralyze you and be like, oh, I'm aware of every single thing I said, and like, oh, I said this thing, was that weird? Or was that good? Or was that a bad thing? That's not helpful to anybody. It doesn't even make you a good person to be that aware. Because then you're not being nice to the person that you're talking to. You're like overanalyzing and you're not even really talking to them. If you really wanted to be a nice person, you would just try to be yourself, and then if you said something weird, you still have some social awareness, right? Because you're just pruning it. You're not getting rid of it. So you'd be like, oh, I might have just said something weird. Was that weird? Sorry. And then that's it. That's all you have to do. Oh, was I just mean? I'm sorry for being mean. I just said something and without really thinking, and I'm sorry. That was bad of me. I will try not to do that anymore. I don't know, that's all you have to do. But most of the time you won't do that because you're probably a good person because you have these pro-social traits, like you want to be nice to people. So most of the time you're not. Some people like being mean to people. They just makes them feel good, and so they do it a lot. I don't know. But if you have social anxiety, you're probably not one of those people. So, I mean, and that's good, and that's a lot of what the book is. It's like, yeah, I mean, but it's still hard for me because I kept thinking like, a lot of the book is like that. It's like, you're normal, so just remember that, and the social anxiety will, like, we just need to get you to remember how normal you are, and then the social anxiety will go away. Like, there was a story about this boxer who owned a gym, and he's like, people aren't coming to my gym because, like, when people come in, I don't talk to them enough, and I don't make them feel happy. But, like, that boxer was a normal person. He even said, like, at one point, it's like, oh, like, when we're one-on-one and when I'm with people I'm comfortable with, then I could talk just fine. But when I'm trying to get people to come to the gym and stay there, I get awkward because, like, I don't know what to say to make them want to stay and stuff. I'm like, okay, that is social anxiety, but that's not what I'm talking about because I don't have anything like that first part. Like oh, I'm normal around my friends. I don't have that. Like, what was... So I kept thinking about that, like, is this book even for me? Because maybe it's just for normal people who forgot that they're awesome. But, like, I'm not a normal person, so is this book for me? Or is it just for the normal people? Ellen Hendrickson's even like, oh, I had social anxiety too. Or I have it still. And I'm like, but, like, you're normal. Like, you're married with kids and you, like, got a PhD. You went to school for this PhD. I don't know, maybe that is part of social anxiety where, like, you just can't ever believe that you're not the exception to the rule. And that was my question. So yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it maybe. We're doing a Q&A with the writer of the book. Sadie did that, which was really cool. She messaged the writer on Instagram, I guess. And was like, would you want to, like, we're doing a book club, you want to talk about it? Like, that's really hard, so good for Sadie for doing that. And she said yes. She does seem like a really super nice person, Ellen Hendrickson, which is pretty cool. But she has social anxiety, so, like, she has a lot of pro-social traits. I guess that's a cool distinction. Is like, I guess you think, yeah, if you have social anxiety, that you are antisocial, right? Like, oh, you don't like being around people. It's not exactly true. You just... I mean, that is kind of true for me, too. Is like, I just don't like being around people because I make them feel weird. And I don't want them to feel weird. And I don't want to feel weird. So maybe we just subtract me from that equation. And then we subtract the weirdness. And I'm doing it for you. I'm not out there. I'm not out in the world because I don't want to make you feel weird. I do it for you. People upstairs just came home, so that's okay, that's okay. Am I done? How much more time? I have, oh, like a minute. But that was, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, antisocial. I'm not antisocial. I'm pro-social. I do believe that. Like I want people to. I mean, what else is there in life than for other people to enjoy the time they have here? And why wouldn't I want to contribute to that? Why would I want to make it bad for them and have them have a bad experience with me and with life? And like, oh, I met this guy and he was really weird. And I wasted time on my earth with a bad person. So I don't want to be that bad person, like ever. Which maybe is a little bit too much pressure to put on myself. People upstairs are distracting me. Anyway, I guess that's it for today. Let's clean this little side part. But yeah, I mean, I see it with all the people who comment here. And in the besties group too, the Facebook group. Everybody's always like trying to be super encouraging and like, you can do it. Like I want you to be happy. Whatever I could say like to make you happy. The comments on my videos, Dalton and Laura and Ariel, all the old ones I used to get to, are always just like very pro-social. And it's kind of frustrating because I want to be that way in real life, but I don't know why it's so hard. It's so much easier to just comment on a video and be like, your video's awesome and you're the best and you're so smart. I do that all the time to people. Okay, but yeah, that's it for today. See ya, bye.